evening and welcome to your Friday, June 28, 2024 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Strong US-GUYANA cooperation not intended to fuel aggression against anyone, says President Ali. US $4.6 billion in trade recorded between Guyana and USA last year. Government to introduce system to control projects awarded to contractors. Carter Center in Guyana on pre-assessment mission ahead of 2025 elections, and man remanded for West CANJE murder. Now for the news in detail. President Dr. Irfan Ali has made it clear that the strong bond between Guyana and the United States, especially in the area of security cooperation, is not intended to fuel aggression against anyone. In fact, he pointed out that the two countries' relationship is rooted in maintaining peace and security within the region. Vanu Manikchand reports.
Speaking at a reception hosted by the United States Embassy in Georgetown on Thursday evening, President Dr. Irfan Ali made it clear that the current military cooperation between Guyana and the U.S. is rooted in ensuring peace and stability in South America and the Caribbean.
We have no apologies for the strong bond and relationship that we have with Southcom, because we believe that we share the common values and we share the same interests in ensuring that this zone remains a zone of peace, and this zone and our sovereign right is protected.
The head of state's remarks come on the heels of heightened tensions between Guyana and Venezuela over the ongoing border controversy whereby the Spanish-speaking nation is laying claims to more than two-thirds of Guyana's territory. In fact, the Nicolas Maduro regime has accused Guyana of being a puppet of the U.S. and further criticized the growing Guyana-U.S. military partnership as an aggression to Caracas. But President Ali declared that the relationship between Guyana and the U.S. is based on maintaining peace and security in the region.
There is no conversation between the U.S. and Guyana in our security architecture that seek to fuel any act of aggression or anything in this region. Every single conversation in this relationship is about keeping this region safe and peaceful and keeping the people of this region in an environment in which they enjoy the rule of law. So this propaganda of a sinister plan between Guyana and the U.S. has no place anywhere. There is no sinister plan. The only sinister plan is to ensure peace remains in this region, and we are not going to deviate from that plan.
Meanwhile, the U.S. has renewed its long-standing support for Guyana in the defense of its sovereignty and territorial integrity.
We keep our friends close. In the face of bullies and tyrants, the United States will always stand with Guyana.
Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchand.
Bilateral ties between Guyana and the United States of America continue to expand across every facet, especially trade relations, which has seen yet another year of exponential growth to over US $4 billion. Here is Vanu Manikchand again with the details.
During a reception to celebrate the 248th independence anniversary of the United States in Georgetown on Thursday evening, U.S. Ambassador Nicole Theriot highlighted the strong trade relations her country shares with Guyana.
Our commercial ties are deeper than ever. Just a few years ago, we traded a few $100 million U.S. worth of goods, but last year, we surpassed $4.6 billion U.S. It's amazing.
Currently, there are over 100 U.S.-based companies operating in Guyana, and according to the U.S. ambassador, this number is growing every day in various sectors in the Guyanese economy.
Through our trade missions, conferences, and exchanges between our private sectors, our companies are unleashing economic growth that supports the employment of thousands, providing a better future for Guyana. And it is occurring in many sectors. Energy, of course, is a key economic driver, but we see activity in the areas of healthcare and education, agriculture, and new U.S. technology is being adopted by Guyanese firms and the government to make them more efficient and competitive. I also really love seeing all over Georgetown U.S.-branded hotels being constructed, along with U.S. restaurants opening up new locations.
Meanwhile, President Dr. Irfan Ali went on to laud the vast participation of the U.S. private sector in Guyana's economy as he sounded calls for this collaboration to be expanded.
Today, we have to do very little lifting in presenting Guyana and the opportunities that are here. And as a result of that, we're seeing a more diversified interest from the U.S. private sector, and we're seeing different tiers of companies, from the small to the medium-sized, large-scale companies coming here. We are also seeing important U.S. investors who are investing in the region itself. In the Deir, for example, a lot of the U.S. investors in the Deir are now working towards expanding their brand here in Guyana. And we want to see the success of all of these brands. We want to see the U.S. banking representative offices here. We want to see the U.S. helping our local private sector to access more capital and greater integration of our private sectors.
Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
The government will soon be introducing a countrywide system aimed at controlling projects awarded to contractors based on their capacities. Let's find out more from Michael Henry.
The rapid expansion of Guyana's road network, housing sector, and other infrastructure projects has seen an increase in the number of contracts being awarded. In an effort to increase transparency and efficiency in this process, the government will be introducing a pre-qualification system for contractors. This was announced by Vice President Dr. Deir during his press conference on Thursday.
What we're planning to do, because we have this problem at the cabinet itself. When a paper goes to the cabinet, often the cabinet doesn't see all of the work that people have in different agencies. So we're now going to introduce a pre-qualification system, maybe starting from a threshold of say 50 million and above. So if you're pre-qualified to do work up to $500 million, and you get one contract, and you're at $450 million, when they go to the cabinet paper goes there, it will say, this contractor was pre-qualified for $500 million, already has a contract for $450 million. Therefore, the cabinet will say immediately, you can't give another contract for 200 or 300 million because they have reached their capacity. And so that is what we're starting to introduce now, a countrywide, you're going to see more about it, a countrywide pre-qualification system that will match capacity, and then all of the agencies of the government will have to report to the center or through a website about work that people have everywhere, so that the cabinet, the government could have a full picture.
He noted that this step is in addition to other efforts to upgrade the procurement system, including the implementation of an open bidding process and evaluation of bids. Meanwhile, just last month, the government announced that it is reviewing its procurement system countrywide in an effort to clamp down on corrupt practices. According to the Vice President, the PPP administration is constantly trying to improve the system.
We're constantly trying to upgrade the system. But trust me, what is happening now under the PPP never happened under APNU. The open bidding process, the evaluation of bids, the documents there that we can supply, you think did that ever happen there? They just called in people and give them the work. The strengthening of the procurement system has been major.
Michael Henry, The Evening News.
In order to improve the Guyana experience for tourists, especially newcomers to the country, businesses in the sector, from transportation services to hotels and restaurants, need to work together to ensure visitors have seamless access to various activities and services. Find out more in this Kelroy Williams report.
Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce Unish Walton, during a recent engagement with stakeholders in the tourism sector, issued a call for greater collaboration among businesses to captivate tourist attention. The minister highlighted the importance of newcomers to the country having easy access to activities and services available within the country. In this regard, Walton urged stakeholders to collaborate to make the Guyana experience better for tourists.
That we all can work together to make sure that we capture the attention of these visitors. Those people should be able to have a easy access or information about tours, those who want to do a one-day tour, a two-day tour. So having that integration with the hotels, the taxi drivers, for us all to be able to know what each other is doing in the sector.
The minister also emphasized the importance of having excellent customer service.
One of the major things for those of you who own restaurants and bars and the hotels is the service. Having our visitors have a positive experience when it comes to service. Even from the airport, going from the airport experience at immigration and getting into a taxi, getting to the hotel, we have been working on improving that interaction, that human interaction that we have with our visitors.
Kelroy Williams, The Evening News.
Former Assistant Commissioner of Police Paul Slow was today ordered to pay $10 million to head of the Special Organized Crime Unit SOCU of the Guyana Police Force, Fazil Karambash, for defamation. Karimbash had filed a $70 million lawsuit against Slow for slander in March 2022. It was reported that between November 2, 2021 and January 12, 2022, Slow on his Facebook and YouTube pages published several defamatory words about the SOCU boss. Today's High Court judgment was handed down by Justice Simon Morris Ramlal, who also awarded a permanent injunction preventing Slow from publishing any further defamatory words concerning Karimbash. Justice Morris Ramlal took into consideration that there were repeated utterances against Karimbash and that Slow had no remorse or apology. In addition, he was ordered to pay costs in the sum of $300,000 by July 28, 2024. Coming up, Ford, Walton, Deir drop out of leadership race on eve of PNC Congress. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Debbie, what are yard man doing in the house? When we touch down, the whole place shall look.
Why you ain't get your ticket as yet? You ain't know the show is Saturday and Sunday? Watch. Pass and get your ticket.
I want you to clip them thick yellow toenails there. And when you done, rub some cream on them. Right? Because it look a little ashy. It's KFC not the last one, 15! Madness in the capital, so I feel like I'm running tongue again. Jump and shake the ground again. Crispy, creamy, what a catch. So tasty. What a catch. With a caramel center. What a catch. And so much chocolate, ooh yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. With so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, you find caramel, ooh yeah. What a catch. Oh, what a catch. You know we love you. What a catch. Oh. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. What a catch.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. Parliamentarians Amanda Walton Deir and Royce Dilford, who were the two contenders against People's National Congress incumbent leader Aubrey Norton for leadership of the party, have announced the suspension of their candidates just one day before the party's Congress began. On Thursday, Walton Deir, in a statement, cited serious concerns over procedural fairness and transparency as key reasons for her decision. Meanwhile, hours after Walton Deir announced the suspension of her campaign, Ford similarly announced that he too will be withdrawing from contesting. His actions come as a response to what he perceives as severe irregularities within the party's electoral process. In a statement on Thursday evening, Ford outlined several critical reasons for his decision. Chief among his concerns are allegations of electoral malpractice and procedural flaws that have tainted the integrity of the ongoing election proceedings. Ford said that his decision was precipitated by a lack of response to his repeated communications to the Central Executive Committee and the General Secretary regarding his concerns about the transparency and fairness of the electoral process. Despite raising alarm over discrepancies in delegate lists and unrealistic timelines imposed for the party Congress, Ford said his concerns have gone unaddressed. Just a few days ago, the PNC's General Secretary, Don Hastings-Williams, had also resigned, citing a number of concerns, including lack of financial accountability and ill-preparedness for this weekend's Congress. The PNC Congress began this afternoon. In other news, a team from the Carter Center is currently in Guyana on a pre-assessment mission ahead of the 2025 general and regional elections. Today at State House, the team met with a government delegation led by President Dr. Irfan Ali. During the meeting, President Ali reiterated his government's commitment to the democratic process, the rule of law, and the will of the people. He underscored his government's dedication to transparency and accountability and thanked the center for their continued cooperation in promoting free and fair elections. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, Minister of Governance and Parliamentary Affairs Gil Teixeira, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal, and Director of Presidential Affairs Mrs. Marcia Nadir Sharma were also a part of the meeting. Meanwhile, the Carter Center team will also engage opposition members, private sector representatives, the Guyana Elections Commission, and civil society organizations. This comprehensive engagement aims to ensure a thorough assessment of the pre-election landscape in Guyana. We now tell you that a West CANJE man was today remanded for the murder of a 56-year-old man. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael was in court and has that story.
26-year-old Ravi Henry was not required to plead to the indictable charge when it was read to him by Magistrate Michelle Matthias at the New Amsterdam Magistrates Court. It is alleged that between June 17th and 22nd at Brighthead Village, West CANJE, Berbice, he murdered 56-year-old Ravindranath Surajanath Mahadio, called Charlie. The partly decomposed body of the 56-year-old man was discovered in a swamp area in Brighthead Village on Saturday last. An autopsy conducted on the body of Mahadio by government pathologist Dr. Vivekanand Brijmohan gave the cause of death as multiple injuries. Dr. Brijmohan also found that there was a fractured skull and a cut to a finger on his left hand. Henry will have to return to court on August 2nd for a police progress report. Meanwhile, it had been reported that while in custody, the man confessed to the crime. Regional Commander Senior Superintendent Shifasat Bacchus had told the media that while in police custody, Henry gave a detailed report of what transpired.
In his detail, he would have informed the police that he thought the deceased was walking on his way home, and he would have started a conversation and which resulted in an argument, and the suspect armed himself with a piece of iron and hit the victim several lashes about his body. He would have also, the victim would have managed to escape, and subsequently the suspect caught up with him again and dealt him several lashes, which resulted in him being unconscious and left on the area that which the deceased was found.
On June 17, Mahadi, who had left his Lot 10 Caracas Brihead Village, West CANJE Berbice home to visit a female friend, but never returned. 2 days later, a missing persons report was filed at Central Police Station in New Amsterdam. On Saturday last, police received an anonymous call about a body found in a swamp area in Brihead Village, West CANJE. Henry was subsequently arrested. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
The government envisions each administrative region specializing in a specific food commodity to make it more efficient to support local agro-processing hubs. This was revealed by President Dr. Irfan Ali, who noted that works are already underway to ensure Region 1 becomes the spice capital of the country. Trishelle Sobers tells us more.
Guyana is well on its way to being a major food exporter for the Caribbean community, CARICOM, and countries in Latin America as the production of food locally continues to increase. And to support the production of food, government has devised an investment plan which will see resources being injected into the construction of regional and sub-regional hubs, as well as agribusiness incubators. According to President Dr. Irfan Ali, these facilities will aid in boosting Guyana's competitiveness by grouping large-scale farmers and equipping them with technology, knowledge, and support to meet the growing demand for processed and packaged foods. To execute this plan, President Ali noted that the Agriculture Ministry will engage farmers regionally to spearhead an initiative that will see each region producing specific commodities of food based on its soil type and richness. For example, Region 1 Burumawaini will be the primary producers of spices such as ginger, as well as honey, coconut, and coffee. This, the head of state believes, will increase Guyana's yield, improve food quality, increase shelf life, and strengthen transportation and logistics services countrywide.
We're going to put facilities, processing facilities, to now take off the increase in the production that will come up, to give the product longer life, processing, and higher value. But they're potently giving us ease in the transportation and logistics of moving the product. So every region, different areas, are going to specialize in different product areas, in different products, depending on what the competitive advantage of those regions are. That is an important plank of the strategy that will evolve.
President Ali made these remarks on Tuesday at the Guyana Marketing Corporation GMC Annual Awards. Further, he disclosed that the government will be partnering with GMC to improve processing and packaging of products. The head of state explained that GMC will play a crucial role in branding products for the regional and international markets by ensuring Guyana's produce aligns with international standards.
If we can build facilities that are internationally certified, it moves away from the bottom house operation into a facility that meets the certification requirement for the markets. Then it helps us to do things at scale which reduce the cost. Once the cost is reduced, overhead comes down, then profitability increase and competitiveness increase. As the government embarks on this investment plan, it requires the participants in the industry to relook and rethink at your own strategy, moving away from the individual to the collective. And Ram said, this is what you and Ms. Lal and David and the minister must work on. How do we move away from the individual into the collective and use the collective power to optimally utilize the infrastructure and investment we are making in creating these opportunities?
Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
In an effort to improve the current drainage network across the coastal regions of Guyana, the government will be investing $40 million to rehabilitate 63 sluices across the country. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports that Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa made the disclosure over the weekend while meeting with farmers at Court Barat village on the east bank of Berbice, Region 6.
During a meeting with farmers at Cottbrook Village on the east bank of Berbice, Region 6 on Saturday, they pleaded for improved drainage facilities. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa announced that the issue is being addressed in a holistic way. He pointed out that since taking office in 2020, the current administration has spent in excess of $2 billion on the east bank of Berbice to improve drainage and irrigation. He said a further 63 sluices will soon be rehabilitated across the country.
We are making a lot of expenditure in this sector. Yesterday I had a meeting with the World Bank. We'll be doing 63 sluices. 63 sluices across this country. Rehabilitate those sluices. Ensure that the outfalls are working. Purchase equipment that can clear the outfall. These are things that will come into place shortly. As a matter of fact, next month the whole procurement process will start, where we'll start to look at that. Whilst we are doing that, we are building the high-level canals. We are doing an embankment from number 66 right on to CANJE Creek.
We have a program with the World Bank that they will rehabilitate 63 sluices across the country, and there are a number of sluices that are in Berbice. Like one I can remember of the Pepper Sluice at Cumberland Canefield area. We will rehab that sluice. That is a major drainage area to drain that area. And a number of other sluices in New Amsterdam, Upper Quarantine, and along the coast will be rehabilitated.
Only recently, Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo spoke of government's plans to booster drainage and irrigation systems across the country. He had noted that 37 pumps will be installed at 19 pump stations nationwide, increasing pumping capacity by over 5,000 cubic square feet and benefiting more than 140,000 citizens. Mustafa said 12 of them are almost completed. The newly installed pump at Adventure in the quarantine was completed 3 months ago and is yet to be commissioned. The $448 million facility is expected to complement the drainage system in the Blackbush folder. Mustafa said the pump at Adventure should be commissioned next month.
The pump will be operable as from now on. If there is any heavy rainfall and excessive water in Blackbush folder, the pump will become operable to drain the area. So this pump is, as I said, is completed. We will commission it shortly. And then in Region 3 too, we have a pump at Port Drive, where Virgin Eugene will commission that too. That is one of those 12 pump stations that we have that are building around the country. We have a number of other pump stations that are about between 70 to 80 to 90% completed. I'm hoping very shortly we can complete those pump stations too and commission.
Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Saturday, June 29, 2024 at 23 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic at 10 hours 20 on Saturday, June 29, 2024, also for 1.5 hours.
National School Basketball Festival kicks off this Sunday with 56 teams, and Jeremiah Louis replaces injured Kimar Roach for England tests. Details of these stories coming up in the Sportcast, sponsored by Macorp.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
You can tell from the crowd who's up next. It's Premier's star player, whose world-class stats put him in a league of his own. Premier's rise to stardom has been one for the record books. The first team to get a GY A+ rating. They boast a strong solvency and A-class service. Ladies and gentlemen, you're witnessing Premier's financial and technical strength that is out of this world.
Premier. Premier insurance coverage for
American-made Generac pressure washers from Sylvie's Variety Store give you the power you need to blast away dirt and grime. Providing the perfect cleaning power for any tough jobs around the house or business. From 2,500 to 4,000 PSI. So get the Generac pressure washer today with all the parts and accessories available from Sylvie's Variety Store.
In today's tough driving conditions, every engine faces three powerful enemies: engine heat, pollutants, and frequent short trips. Each factor is a direct cause of engine sludge, a buildup of dirt that can block vital oilways. This triple threat demands triple protection. Castrol GTX's Triple Protect Power is engineered to fight these three main causes of engine sludge.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does